Okay, so you want to run in the morning. Set the alarm for 6, put your shoes by the door, do it for 21 days, and on day 22, you just go. That's the plan in your head. And it's not a bad plan. And you felt it work, at least at the start. The first morning is awful. Your chest burns by the end of the road, and you walk the last 100 meters. By day 4, you're still slow, but you're not stopping. By the end of the first week, you run the whole road without walking once. Something really is happening, and it's happening fast. You think, okay, this is working. 3 weeks suddenly sounds about right. Here's the problem. What got easier that week was the run, not the decision to go. And the decision to go is the whole job. You're not training your body here, and you're not training your willpower either. You're trying to get the number of decisions down to 0. A habit isn't a behavior you've strengthened. It's a decision you've stopped having to make. And not every habit takes the same amount of time. Studies show 4 things decide how long yours will take, and you can check all 4 before you start. The first is when you do it. A review of 20 separate studies published in the journal Healthcare found that habits done in the morning became stronger than habits done in the evening. The second is who picked it. The same research found that habits people chose for themselves became automatic faster than habits somebody else assigned them. The third is whether it pays you on the day you do it. We'll come back to that one, because it turns out to matter more than anything else on this list. And the fourth is what's already sitting in that time slot, because 6 in the morning already belongs to something. Right now it belongs to sleep. When you do it, who picked it, whether it pays you, and what it has to replace. Those 4 answers decide almost everything about how long this takes you. So how long does it really take? Studies show it's about 2 months. That figure comes from the same review in healthcare, which followed 2,600 people building real habits, and every one of them recorded day after day how automatic the thing felt: flossing, walking, eating better. The middle figure was 59 to 66 days, not 21. 60. So if you plan for 3 weeks, you plan for a third of the job, but the middle figure isn't the one that matters. In that same review, the fastest person got there in 4 days. The slowest took 335. 4 days, or nearly a year, for the same kind of habit. And there is no test you can take on the first morning to find out which one you are. You find out by doing it. One thing does predict it, though, and is the 4th item on that list. Studies that tracked people breaking habits found that what makes a habit hard isn't how much you want it. It's how strong the thing you're replacing already is. The longer sleep has owned 6 in the morning, the longer this takes. Now here's the part that changes how you should think about all of it. 2 people, both trying to run 3 mornings a week. The first one has real self-control. The alarm goes at 6, there's an argument in the dark, and he wins it every time, so he's up and dressed and out the door. The second one doesn't have the argument at all. The shoes are by the door, so he puts them on. Which one is still running in a year? It's the second one, and it isn't close. Researchers measured this directly. They took 226 adults and tested 3 separate things: how much each person valued being active, how strongly they were drawn to it, and how automatic it already was for them. Then they checked which of the 3 predicted how much those people actually moved during a week. Only one of them did, and it was how automatic the behavior already was. Wanting it predicted nothing at all. Read that again. Of everything they measured, the thing that predicted whether somebody actually went running was not how much they wanted to go running. And this holds outside exercise too. Studies of 60 people across 18 countries looked at what actually ends a night in front of the television. The weakest thing was the episode finishing, and almost as weak was noticing the time. What actually stopped people was a meeting the next morning, or somebody at the door, or dinner that had to go on now. Not willpower, a commitment sitting somewhere else. So the person who looks disciplined usually isn't trying harder than you. He's the one who left his shoes by the door. So how does something become automatic in the first place? Studies show it has to pay you. In work out of the University of California, people practiced a task where one rule earned a reward and the others earned nothing, and the rewarded rule got faster, which is no surprise. Here's the surprise. When the researchers stopped giving the reward, the speed stayed. The behavior had been paid often enough that it no longer needed paying. Researchers watched the same thing happen in real life. They followed 42 people who switched from driving to cycling to work over 14 weeks. The old habit faded steadily. The new one grew fastest in the first few weeks and then leveled off. But what drove it wasn't determination. It was whether the person noticed something good on the day: getting warm by the second hill, arriving awake, passing the line of stopped cars on the bridge. The bike didn't replace the car on its own. It got paid every trip until it stopped asking, and you can watch it fail when the payment is missing. In a study published by Oxford University Press, researchers gave 288 people a full year of support to keep weight off: goal setting, activity tracking, smart scales, a coach on the phone. It successfully changed 10 of the 16 things it was designed to change. Confidence went up, planning went up, people even reported stronger habits. Then everybody got weighed, and both groups had put the same weight back on. Everything about how people thought changed, what people didn't. So far, this all sounds solvable. Do it early, pick it yourself, make sure it pays you. Wait 2 months. Now, here's where 21 days actually came from, because it was never a study at all. In 1960, a plastic surgeon in New York called Maxwell Maltz published a book called Psycho-Cybernetics. Maltz wasn't studying habits, he was watching his own patients in the weeks after their operations, and he noticed something. A man who'd had his nose reshaped would keep flinching at the bathroom mirror, and not for a day, but for about 3 weeks. Then one morning he'd look up and the face would just be his face. Maltz saw that same 3 weeks everywhere. Patients who lost a limb felt it was still there for about that long. Families who moved house took about that long before the new place stopped feeling like somebody else's. So he wrote it down. It takes a minimum of about 21 days for an old mental image to dissolve and a new one to take its place. Read what he actually wrote. A minimum. About. Mental image. By the time that number reached the cover of your habit tracker, minimum had been dropped, about had been dropped, and mental image had quietly turned into habit. A surgeon's note about how long it takes to stop being startled by your own face became a rule about how long it takes to become a person who runs. And here's the thing, the number isn't wrong, it's just answering a different question. Maltz measured how long it takes to stop finding something strange, and that really does take about 3 weeks. Becoming somebody who does it without deciding takes 9. So put the two numbers next to each other, 21 days and 60 days. Plan for 21 and you stop a third of the way in. But stopping early isn't the real damage. The damage is where day 21 puts you. Habits don't build in a straight line. Studies that tracked habit strength day by day found the same shape every time, which is fast at the start and then flat. The first 2 weeks are the steep part. Every run makes the next run noticeably easier, and you can feel it happening, which is exactly what beat you into believing 3 weeks was enough. Then it flattens. Around week 3, the improvement is still there, but it's got too small to feel, so the habit is still forming, and you just can't feel it forming anymore. So 21 days doesn't only stop you early, it stops you at the exact moment the feeling of progress disappears. Which is why it feels like it stopped working. It didn't stop working, it stopped showing you. So here are two versions of the same man, running the same 3 mornings a week. In the first version, he chose it himself. He goes at 7, before the day has started. It takes 20 minutes. He gets back warm and awake, and the kitchen is quiet, so something good happens on the same morning, every time. And nothing else was using 7 o'clock, so nothing had to move out. All 3 things are working for him, which studies put at the fast end. And at the fast end, people got there in 4 days. In the second version, his doctor told him to do it. He goes at 10 at night after work has taken everything he had. It takes an hour. The payoff is a number at a checkup in 6 weeks, so on the night itself, there is nothing good to feel. And 10 at night is already taken by the sofa and the phone and 11 years of doing exactly that. All 3 things are working against him, so he's at the slow end, at 335 days. Same man, same run. And the difference between 4 days and 335 isn't how badly he wanted it. It's what time he went, whether he picked it, whether it paid him that morning, and what he had to move out of the way. So if you want this to work, stop counting to 21 and set up the 4 things that actually decide it. Do the new habit early, before anything else can take that time slot. Pick it yourself instead of running the one somebody assigned you. Make sure something good happens on the same morning you do it, not 6 weeks later at a checkup. And schedule it somewhere nothing else already lives, so you're not trying to evict something that's been sitting there for years. Send this to a friend who's trying to build a new habit. You'll make it easier for them.